you go. Hi everyone, Admin Raul here. Uh, Going live with Cliff. There he
I,
is.
I guess it's working. That's always a
Yeah,
good sign.
yes it is. Hi Cliff, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. It's Friday. I got live feeds on next to me, so I'm doing pretty well.
That's great. It's so great to finally meet you. I say finally because you're the only member from your season I haven't met yet.
Oh, well, I,
Which
I hate that I was the last, but saving the best for last. We'll just treat it like that, huh?
exactly. So I want to ask first. Saying that is, where were you for the at the finale after party for your season?
Uh, oh, from last season?
From your season.
Oh, I was there at the party. I did the main one. I was there. God, there were 10,000 people there, it seems like. I was at the finale after party. Then everyone else went over to Vegas, or a lot of folks did. I had my family in. So once I did the after party the next night, then after that, I just hung around LA and did the typical tourist stuff.
Oh,
But
the
yeah, I was there at the
next
after party.
night. Okay, because I was there at finale night,
Okay,
and
all
they
right.
all went to the basement,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's where I was waiting for you, and you never showed up.
Oh, I the
No one
night of
told.
or the night
Were
after.
you not invited?
Probably not. Like I said, don't invite the old guy. He doesn't need to. He can't swing with us youngsters. So, well,
That's so funny.
that being said, it's nice to finally meet you then, and
No, thank you.
so yeah, it's that was such a whirlwind. It was so weird having been in the house isolated for 90 something days. The last few weeks I was in just very few of us in there, and suddenly you get out of the house, you're going to the after parties, and there's 5,000 people who feel like they know you intimately and want to talk or curse or throw
That was
things
me.
or a little bit of everything. It really was a very overwhelming process there for that next week or so after we were out of the house.
Yeah. So being in the house, you turned Cliff Notes into something pretty big.
Yeah,
Explain how that came to be, because the
yeah,
name itself is just genius.
yeah. I had no clue. I mean, I really did. The background, I guess, is I've watched live feeds. I've been watching Big Brother since season 8, and I've been watching live feeds. Gosh, for quite a while. I got my wife hooked on it, and then my kids eventually. Watching a lot of live feeds, and I know there were a few seasons where people were talking directly to the cameras. I remember specifically Josh Martinez. It seems like he would talk some to the cameras, and I always was appreciative of that as a live feeder to hear some inside thinking of what was going on and strategies. So I told my family when it looked like I was perhaps going to go in the house, I said, if I get in there, I'm going to talk to y'all. I'm going to make sure that I kind of, well, two things. One, I want to make sure I talk to all the live feeders and just give some insights on what may be going through my mind and what I'm trying to figure out and what I'm seeing from within. But the other thing was by doing it in the morning when everyone else was asleep, I knew that the cameras would be forced to focus on me. If they were still focused on people in the other room snoring away instead of me talking, that would have been a bad sign. But I figured I had a much better chance. The cameras would be on me. It would be the one chance for me to talk to my family and know that they were able to watch it and hear what I was saying, and the cameras weren't going elsewhere. So it really was just kind of my way of staying sane with my family, knowing that they were there watching me, but also kind of rewarding the live feeders a little bit. And I don't even know where the Cliff Notes came from. I don't know. I don't remember if I called it that while I was in the house, or it just was kind of an
You did. You
organic
did.
type deal. But
Or I think it started on Twitter, or you called it that. But yeah, it was a thing when you were doing that. So
it was very strange because normally I would wake up, make a pot of coffee, pour a cup, go into the boat room, which was my favorite room of the whole house. And it was so creepy because the whole time you're walking, the cameras are following you the whole way through because you're the only active person in the house. And except when Christy Murphy was tiptoeing around and listening at
oh
the
yes,
door.
she
But
was.
yeah, I'd sit in a room and that camera would just zoom in on me, and I knew that for better or worse, I had a little bit of an audience and all that. I really had fun at the start when I was talking a little more strategy and all that, but once I got overheard by Christy, I had to get a little more cautious about what I talked about, and I think after that it was a lot more just talking to the family, talking about how much I missed Whataburger taquitos from here in Texas and things like that.
And now it's a YouTube thing, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have a blast. I do during the whole year, but I do my Monday night shows, just Cliff Notes Live. I really, because of my age and job and all of that, I thought, all right, I'll do the show and then I'll just go back to the regular world. It's not like I'm going to be an influencer or anything else. I didn't even have Instagram or Twitter or anything before I went in that house. But when I got out, I started that show with COVID while COVID was going on, just because there was so little going on for anyone. And I've just been doing it ever since. And we've got a whole little family over there. So I do my Monday night shows throughout the year. And then during Big Brother season, I do the overnight feed recaps. So I stay up pretty much all night long, taking all my notes, and every morning do a little 20, 30-minute recap of everything that happened. And I have fun doing that. I have to hibernate in the wintertime because I'm not a lot of sleep going on right now, especially when you got 16, 17 people in that house all trying to talk at once.
That's true. So talking about the house, how do you feel about the season? Who do you like? Who do you hate? And
God,
Jimmy for
I
HOH. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I love it so far. Are we talking spoilers in here? Or are we
Oh
staying only
yes,
with the
yes,
episode?
for
Okay.
sure.
You never know. I don't want to get anyone mad at me because I've spilled too much tea. But I I I like the preseason. I thought the house looked fantastic. I've always been partial to the my season 21 house, the camp look and all that. But this mystery house is pretty cool. I gotta say they did it up right this year.
Yeah, they did.
So I've enjoyed that. The cast I thought was going to be exciting. So far, so good. I nothing, no shade against last season, but I feel like some of the folks were maybe a little bit more concerned about coming up with new song and dance numbers and things like that than playing the game. And I'm not sure there's a whole lot of that in here. We got some people flying under the radar, but it seems like everyone came to play except for Riley, and he may have just come in for love. It seems like, or
Oh,
whatever.
Riley, that guy disappointed me so much.
I
Well, I didn't really like him at the start, but
I
then he's
called
just going underneath like.
Yeah, I did my little cast preview before the season started, and I had picked as the first boot of Amy and the second boot as Zay. So watching the two of them on the block last night, I thought, all right, well maybe I'm not so far off in terms of some of my picks on that. But I also had said that Riley potentially would be my America's favorites player pick, except for the fact I didn't think he would last that long. But other than that, I thought he just had a heart of gold. People would fall in love with him. He's an interesting character. We'll see how
I
he does.
mean,
He's given me a lot of beast mode cowboy vibes with some of his
exactly.
behavior. So yeah,
But
I don't
it's
know what it is
weird.
with the goofballs that go in his house wearing cowboy hats. They just all go crazy in there.
Yeah, with Riley though, he's it's not that he's not doing his own thing. It's that he's letting Catherine tell him what to do with nothing in return.
No,
It's
no.
weird.
I don't know if I'm Catherine how I would respond. I mean, I guess on the one hand, it's nice to have someone that you think is going to fall on a sword for you, but I maybe would be a little bit nervous about it about it as well. So yeah, he's something else. I don't think he's long for this game. I mean, we saw Ava last night, I think, on the feeds talking to him saying, "Look, everyone likes you. You're good to go. It's not an issue." But I think there's going to be some people that may not be quite as comfortable with him going forward, and uh, he's got to start playing the game at some point. If he's just in there, love puppy, declaring unbridled love for the woman that he met 7 days ago, it was. I had a lot of people hooking up in my season, and I know it was hard enough
Oh
to play
yes,
the
you did.
game when you're too busy hooking up. Uh, when you're focused on someone that maybe isn't returning that the attention back to you, it's just going to be a spiral for that guy. I really am curious to see what happens going forward with Riley. He's a wild card. I mean, I really like the cast. They all have some of them have
Same.
absolutely surprised me. I thought Adrian was going to come in and play way too hard, way too fast, and maybe give us a little Frenchie moment or something. And he's seems like he's playing a little bit lower under the radar than I expected. So it's and then you add in the Rachel Riley or Rachel Vegas component, and uh,
You know how I knew she was on this season?
uh,
I texted her and she never replied back, and I was all like, okay, she has to be on this season because why wouldn't she text back? And yeah, she was on there. I was all like, I knew it.
I'd heard all the rumors, and then I realized, and it may have been her that pointed out. Someone had pointed out, and I think it maybe was on the feed. She said I didn't get a chance to do All Stars, and I thought back when we had season 22, she didn't get a chance to do it. We haven't seen her on the show for a while, and it actually makes sense. And I was
Yeah.
excited to. I'm not a huge fan of returning players unless their name's Cliff. But other than that, I'm not a huge fan of returning players because I like seeing the newbies and see how new people come in and play the game and all of that. I was a little curious to see how she would do playing without Brandon right there next to her, which she had on her other seasons. Uh, she's always had a very committed ride or die with her, and to come in as kind of the focal point in a lot of ways. I wanted to see how she did it, and she didn't take long to jump right back into the emotional, fired up Rachel that I remember from a decade plus ago. It was fun watching her with her little blow up with Zay. That was an exciting little.
That was something. But um the fact that she made Amy her like ride or die so quick
Yeah,
just goes to show how she doesn't know how to play by herself.
yeah, and I thought the
She
same
needed
thing.
that ride or die.
I think she was came in looking for someone that she would be able to connect with and connect to, and I I'll admit I didn't have a whole lot of faith or you know, Amy again. I picked her to be the first boot, and it's not just I'm always going to cheer for the older people in the house. I hope that guy just does a phenomenal. But Amy worried me a little bit because even in her preseason interview, she was talking all about wanting to do girls alliances and yeah, so be it. But I think you have to go in there and be very flexible about how you play the game. If a girls' alliance works, great. But if not, cut them loose and go a different
It'll
direction. You
never
can't.
work.
No, no, they never do. They had a girls' alliance in our season that lasted about 3 days until Bella blew that up. So yeah, never working so well. But so far, I mean, right now, look, we came in with nine women and 8 men because of Rachel. Now we
Rachel,
sent
yeah.
now we sent home Zay, so now we're 9-7. If they get out Keanu in this next round, which seems like he may be the primary target, you could be down to 9-6, women over the men with a couple of the big bros out of the house. So we'll
So
see.
here's my perfect week would be Keanu uses his power,
Yeah,
and so does Kelly,
yeah, yeah,
and then Jimmy has to renom, and he puts up Zach.
yeah.
Then Zach would use his power as well.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. Do we know
Yeah.
what Zach's power is? I was trying to go back and I didn't know for
Yes.
certain.
If he's on the block or if he feels like he is in danger, he could give the HOH his $10,000 to come off the block, and
That's
the
right.
HOH has to take it.
Yeah,
It's a one-way transaction.
I was thinking the powers from the HOH last night. I forgot it was his $10,000 deal.
Yeah,
I, you know what? I really love the idea that there's some actual hard currency involved in some decision making that you have to do in that house.
exactly.
Because I put myself in that position. You always feel like you're at a little bit of risk, but at what point are you willing to put up 10K of hard currency in order to protect yourself? But yeah, we could. I mentioned Frenchie earlier. I remember he had to nominate so many people that week because of some of the twists that were going on. Uh, you Jimmy seems very confident about his ability to run this week. And he doesn't realize all the potential mind traps that may be waiting for him if, exactly as you say, a perfect storm happens and we get some extra vetoes and such being played.
Well, he already nominated two people
Yeah.
with powers, so it's gonna happen. Callie's gonna use hers for sure.
But I saw her talking a little earlier, and it sounds like she may use that on Adrian.
Oh my god.
She
I
has just decided. She called herself Tucker Revisited or Tucker 2.0 or something.
Tucker reincarnated.
Yeah,
I must have missed that, but no. Oh
I
my
guess
god.
I'll give her credit for coming in playing hard, but I
Playing
knew it wasn't going to
different.
last for Tucker, and it sure isn't going to last for Kelly either.
Well, that's my thing. Callie and Keanu were my number one male and female to make it far.
Okay.
But they both have been disappointing me so much. Especially Keanu. Playing
Yeah.
way too hard, lying to Rachel to her face.
You know, Keanu and Zay to some degree as well. I know Zay had said he had only watched season 26 and like 4 or 5 episodes of season 25, and he's a salesman. I understand he came in trying to make these pitches and just explain to people why they needed to do what he wanted them to do. But at the end of the day, it's not always about being the most logical argument. It's about perceptions in that house and kissing up to the people who some people want attention. Some people, everyone has their different ways that you need to talk to them, and I just don't feel like he did that. And I feel like Keanu in some ways is similar. He came in like, 10-person alliance and
Yes.
telling everyone
When I heard that,
everything.
I was
And
like, okay, Devin
he
2.0.
I've been cheering for Keanu because he's from McKinney, which is just outside Dallas. And you know, I'm here in Texas as well. Quinn and I were both up at the casting call that was up in Dallas
Oh,
earlier
really?
this year, and we were talking about the premiere party. Did Keanu come through the line and was part of that casting call? And we didn't remember seeing him, but he very well may have come through there. So yeah, we were cheering for him, but he certainly came in playing hot, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
And
Super,
you know,
like, too hard. So, yeah.
and I talked about how proud I am that I kind of picked some of the lower folks, Amy and Zay is potentially going home fairly early. But on the other side, my winner's pick, I picked Ashley to win the whole thing, and I think I picked Keanu to be either second or third. I may have picked him third, but I have both of them finishing very high, and we'll still see if Ashley can recover from Showergate and kind of poor
I,
start, very poor
yeah, I
start, but
think
it seems like
Morgan's
she's
gonna take it. Oh,
who?
Morgan, seeing how they interact now, I
Yeah,
think Morgan.
I feel like Morgan's in with a lot of people pretty tight, but I say she doesn't really have anyone too upset with her. I can't remember if it's Ashley and someone, Amy maybe, I don't know, but a few people saying, hey, we don't necessarily trust Kat and Morgan that much. We may have to get them sooner rather than later, which kind of surprised me because I feel like Morgan's been pretty active in developing relationships and not really getting anyone too upset with her. But we got a lot of game to play with. We'll see how things go as you have your side in power, your side under the gun and such.
Yeah. Okay, so one of our admins, admin Amy, wanted to know what your guilty pleasure was or is.
Oh, is well, I certainly Big Brother is what, and not just Big Brother, all of reality TV. I just my wife and I we watch a lot of reality TV, the cooking show, you know, Survivor and all the CBS shows and all that. So that's definitely part of it. I love the outdoors. Another guilty pleasure would just be going up to the lake and just hanging around, getting away from social media and everything else. Now, while I was in the house, I had planted loofahs and was growing loofahs in the backyard, and you always see them. They're like the plastic sponge things that you clean off with, but they actually grow organically. They're a natural growing thing. That's a cucumber that looks like a sponge when you peel it all off and everything.
What?
And I grew them just to be different. And I know
Uh huh.
lots of times on the feeds I say, Sharon, I hope the loofahs are doing well. She told me afterwards she gave those things more loving care, watered them, everything, because she was so paranoid that I'd get out of the house and they'd be dead or something. So yeah, I guess another guilty pleasure is I like growing things. So I've got a backyard that's filled with citrus fruits and loofahs and grapes and avocados uh,
Okay.
and all kinds of things like that.
Awesome. If you were to go to America's Got Talent, what would be your talent?
I got no talent. I have zero talent. What we had to fill out a list of things that were interesting about us during the casting process on Big Brother, and I think I put down that as a kid I had a pet skunk that was named Oreo. Uh,
What?
yeah,
Oreo. Good name for a skunk.
yeah,
Nice.
had the scent gland removed. We weren't crazy, not completely crazy, but yeah, had a pet skunk growing. And it's not like I lived out in the middle of the boondocks. I didn't grow up on a farm. I grew up in the suburbs, but yeah, had a pet skunk named Oreo, which was very interesting. Neighbors didn't necessarily like it, but we loved the skunk. But did that. I learned to drive when I was, I think I said 10 or 11 years old. Probably even a little earlier than that. Had grandparents that did have a farm, and we'd drive out there a lot, and I learned how to drive. But my only special talent I had was that I could say the alphabet backwards. So I'm not sure that's going to carry a long way with America's Got Talent.
Can you do that now for
I
us?
love it. I could try it. Let's see. ZYXWVUTSRQPONMLKJIHGFEDCBA. I think that's
Nice.
it.
Good
Something like
job.
that. If I'm wrong, I'm sure one of your viewers will tell us. Uh, I mentioned that on when I was trying out, and every step of the casting process, of course, there was always someone that said, "All
Can you
right,
do
Cliff, you
it?
got
Can
to
you
try it. You
do
got to try it." So,
it?
be careful what you put down when you audition for Big Brother or any of these shows. But yeah, that's it for. I don't have a bone in my. Yeah, y'all saw us during our season. Tommy Bracco, and I know you said he was on your show. You talked to him not too long ago, but Tommy was putting together little flash mob dances and all of that.
Yes.
And
I
here I am in the
reposted it
back of this.
yesterday, I believe, to our stories. The finger guns and
Yeah,
lasso and
yeah, 6 shooter. I didn't know at the time it was referencing an alliance, which I was upset with. But yeah, the finger guns and corner, and
corner.
and here
Yes.
I am in the back of that thing trying to act like I've got rhythm. At one point, we had a talent show, and somehow I got roped into having to have a twerk off with Nick and Jessica from my season. And
A twerk
my,
off. I must have
yeah,
missed that.
well, it's a good thing. Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna go
may have
find it
had to
right now.
rinse your eyes out with bleach otherwise, because this body don't move that way. My poor kids. I've got two 20-something-year-old kids at the time, watching their dad, 53-year-old dad, on national television twerking, or at least attempting to twerk. It was, looked more like I just stuck my finger in an electric socket than any kind of actual dance going on. So, uh, yeah, no, that's it. America's Got Talent. I'm getting the buzzer right off the bat. Simon's not even going to bother taking a drink. I'll be out the door before he gets the chance to. So it's a good thing I was on a show where you weren't allowed to sing, because that is not where I'm going to be making my mark on the world.
Okay, Cliff, it was fun. I just have one more question left.
Yeah.
Does pineapple go on pizza?
Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Of course,
Oh
no one trusts my
no!
opinion on pizzas because I love to drink milk with pizza. The things that people get upset about while you're in the Big Brother house, the fact that we would always have pizzas and I'd drink a big glass of milk with it, people went ballistic like I was drinking arsenic or something. It's like, pizza's got dairy, milk is dairy. It seems like a perfect complement to each other. But yeah, they go crazy. No, I love me some pineapple and ham on my pizza. I typically will either go
Oh,
with that, or I'll go with a pepperoni and banana peppers and jalapeno peppers for a little spice in there.
that sounds delicious,
I
right there.
usually go half and half. I'll do one on one side, so I get the spicy side, then I get the sweet side from the pineapple. And I hope I'm not getting banned from your show by saying pineapples go on it. But
No, you're not getting banned, but I think lesser of you now.
yeah, you wouldn't be
I'm
the
just
first
kidding.
one. Hey,
I'm
I've
just
been
kidding.
I've been all over the world. I've never been hesitant to try out the local food and cuisine. I've had pizzas in Abu Dhabi with octopus on it. It was
Ooh.
fantastic. Pineapple seems pretty tame to me, so yeah,
Well, when you put it like that, yeah.
yeah, whatever. If
When
it
I was
doesn't
going
kill you,
to,
it's. I've never been one to turn down a whole lot of food, regardless of how the combinations go. So I was disappointed during my season that we didn't have a food challenge of some sort. I was hoping we'd have one of the anchovy milkshakes or something like that.
we all
Because
miss those, yeah.
yeah, we need to bring that and some of the food competitions or the luxury foods and things like that
Yes.
back that we had old school.
Yes, call up Alison Grodner, tell her, hey, food competitions, bring them back.
Yeah, I think she may have blocked my number.
Thank you so much, Cliff. It was
No,
fun. God
my
bless you.
pleasure. Thank you for
Have
bringing
a
me
good
on my
night.
favorite time of the year with another season of Big Brother, and
Exactly.
I love talking about it. So anytime, always happy to do so.
Awesome. Thank you, Cliff. Have a good night.
All
And
right,
thank
you
you,
too.
everybody,
Cheers,
for
guys.
joining.
See y'all later.
Have a good night.